How do you make a 3D object follow the mouse? Ignore Y, just X and Z, almost like 2D. You want to make a new project, set up a simple world, node 3D, nothing crazy, you can save it to a source folder. Next, what you want to do is you want to add a camera, or at least you want to add a node 3D and then attach a camera 3D to it. You can do that by clicking the plus icon or clicking Control A. So we're just going to call this cam handler, and I'm going to attach a simple script. And what I really want to do is I really want to be able to interact with my world every frame or every step, which isn't too crazy. I'm going to get access to the camera, so that's not too hard. I'm just going to do $camera. And what I want to ask the camera is, well, not the camera, but I want to get the mouse position on the screen. And I can do that very simply by doing get viewport dot get mouse position. And essentially, if I just start printing this out, you'll see very quickly that if I actually go to my world, so I'm in my world scene over here, and I'm going to instantiate my cam handler. If I put that in, select current, you can see in the print section, I am actually getting my mouse position. And when I'm in the top left, it's near 0, 0. The reason it seems like nothing's happening is because the entire world is just gray, and I actually have to add a sun and an environment to the scene. And now you can see we were actually in the 3D scene all along. And now right now I'm getting my 2D position of my mouse on my screen, which is pretty cool. However, I need to be able to translate it into 3D units. And there's two things I'm going to need to do that, which is I need to get the camera's position, more or less. So camera's position. A better way to say this and get this is actually get ray origin. So this is ray start. So this is where the start of the camera is. Like that is where my eyeball is, more or less. Project ray origin, and it's a built-in function in camera 3D. And I'm just going to do it from the mouse position. So mouse pause. In the documentation for camera 3D, if I scroll down, I have project ray normal and project ray origin. We're going to need both of them, but right now all I need is ray origin, and you can see it takes in a vector 2, so where our mouse is, and it gives me back a vector 3. So I'm just going to set the type over here for static typing to vector 3, and then I'm also going to get the direction I'm facing. So just because this is the start of the ray, that's where like I am in space. If I have my camera here and this is like where the camera is, ray start is literally like where the start of the camera is, and then direction or the ray direction is going to be telling me which direction I'm looking in, because if the camera was looking down here, then I would have to get this direction, and I would also have to get this new start position because it's different from this one. So ray direction is literally equal to normal, and you're going to do that from mouse pause again. And then, since we have these two, we're practically set to do intersections with planes. So this first part I'm going to show you is just with the simple plane. There's no actual collision with a static body or a physics body. So I'm just going to define a plane here. If you didn't know you could, turns out you can define a straight up plane. And the idea is you just want to specify which direction the plane is in. So my plane, or this flat surface, which is what I mean by plane, is just going to be pointing upwards. And the intersection between them, which is the thing that you're after, the intersection point is just going to be equal to plane.intersects ray. So the plane actually has its own collision shape there, defined as like the flat surface. This means in our world, there's just like a flat surface somewhere generated at global position y equals 0 at the moment, because of the configuration we have. And if our camera's up here looking down, then we're going to be able to get a point on this ray. It's like on this plane, sorry. It's like infinitely wide to my knowledge. And then all we're going to be doing is, as you can see, if I do control spacebar, it's just asking me from where? Well, from ray start. And then what direction are we going in? We're just going in the direction of the camera. And if I just print out intersection, you can see that I get a X and Y, which is pretty cool because the Z is already kind of given to me. So all I have to do now is I have to go to my world. I'm going to do Control A to add a mesh instance. And I'm just going to make it a simple cube. You don't even have to make it a character body or anything. I'm just doing a very, very simple experiment or setup. So over there I have my sphere. I said cube, but I meant sphere. And all I'm going to do is, if there's an intersection, for some reason, if there's no intersection, that could be possible, and I'll show you in a second. If there's an intersection, all we're going to be doing is we're going to be grabbing reference to that mesh instance I just put down. So at export var mesh instance, and we're just going to set it to the type of mesh instance so we can actually drag it over. So this is like my new favorite way of doing hacky little things like this. If I just get rid of this error by saying me.globalposition.x equals intersection.x. So you can see over here that cam handler now has a me variable. That me is mesh instance mi. And if I just drag it over and it actually wants to assign, oh, it's not assigning. Okay. Oh, it's mesh instance 2D over there, but I meant 3D. And oops, I forgot to give this mesh instance here. Now if I run the scene, you can see that it follows my mouse, X only though, and it's kind of weird but it'll make sense why it's weird in a second. That's because I'm not setting the Z position as well. So if I just set the Z position from the intersection as well, you can see that it's fine and it's fair. And you can see that practically infinite doesn't extend past the plane. Well, it is actually over there. You just can't see it because it's so far away. But now you can see I'm getting a simple setup for dragging around on the plane. Like, this is crazy, or crazy easy. There's also another way to do this, which is through another new scene. So I'm just going to make another one. This is called Physics Cam Handler. Physics Cam Handler. And this one is going to be very similar to the first one, except the big difference is that this one will specifically interact with physics bodies and not a defined plane. For example, you may not want to have physics interactions when gliding and moving around. So the idea is you're going to make a new script for your physics-based cam handler. And we're going to be doing almost all the same things. So I'm just going to copy paste. There's a few changes though, and that's going to be from starting from here. And the big idea is, instead of the intersection point that we defined, we're going to do space state. So I'm going to make a variable called space state, and I'm just going to do get world 3D dot direct space state. Now, when I first heard this and learned this, it was so confusing to me, but all you have to know is that this lets you returns the world 3D as a resource. And this is a very fancy way of saying that this just gives you a actual register of everything in the world, the environment, the camera attributes. It just gives you an idea of what is happening over here. Like, it just gives you everything here. Like, there's not much else to explain, and you don't have to know anything except for the fact that this space state variable will allow you to test for intersection. So all you have to know is you have this world, and that's what direct space state means, or get world 3D dot direct space state. What you can do is you can test for anything from, if you define a point from, let's say, the camera for some reason to like infinity and beyond, you can detect any physics bodies over here, and you can actually just place an object on that physics body, which I'll show you. And what you want to do is you want to make a result variable, because that result variable is literally going to be space state dot intersect ray. So you're going to try to intersect the ray, as I mentioned earlier, from somewhere over here to, just in front of it. Doesn't matter where exactly, but the idea is it takes in a physics ray query parameters 3D. Now that's super scary to read, but we can just name a var p, so to make it like super simple. And we're going to set its type to, and what we're going to do is we're going to say dot create, and you can see it's asking from where do you want to create this ray query parameter. This is a really fancy way of saying where do you want the ray to start. Well, I obviously want it to start from ray start, which is the camera's like position more or less, and to where. Well, I want it to actually go in front of the ray, so I'm just going to do ray dot ray plus ray direction. Direction times 1000 or 100, doesn't matter how much. Actually it does, because the farther it is, the more you have to calculate, but then the farther your physics collisions can be, and I'll show you what happens if you set it to a low value. And that's all you have to do. And then you can just pass in p, and if there's result, then print result. So we can see what happens, and we should be expecting nothing at the moment because I actually never set up cam handler, or the physics cam handler. So I'm just going to set that up real quick. Physics cam handler. And now if I bring this guy back a bit, you can see that we're getting the mouse position. So physics cam handler is printing out mouse position, but there's no result. And the reason there's no result because we're not accessing and we're not colliding with any physics body, which is what this intersect space state does. Intersect array will look for physics bodies. By physics body 3D, I mean anything that is a child of physics body 3D, quite literally. And if I go over here and try to find it, oh yeah, physics body 3D. So anything that is one of these four, I'm not too sure about physical bone 3D. I have no clue what that is, but I do know that static body will work. And if I go over here and add a collision shape to my static body, and I make it a giant flat square, you can see that it will be able to intersect with this giant square. And the craziest or the coolest part is that I can also duplicate this, rotate it, move it to the side, rotate it like this, and then kind of put it over here, and do it again, kind of put this over here. Now you might be wondering, oh, that looks so trippy, but the idea is that we have like this intersection point between a bunch of walls, and the idea is you can see that the collider ID is changing all the time depending on which collider I'm touching, and we're getting this position for where the collision is. And again, like last time, if I just go over here and I grab if there's a result, I do me.global position equals result dot position. Okay, it's not going to help me out, but the idea is if I just access that position, you can see that does not work, and that is because I do not set physics cam handler to have a me at the moment. So over here, I'm going to assign it and it should work. Yep, cool. So we're actually gliding along the surface. However, this looks horrible and you cannot tell what I'm doing. So I'm just going to go a step back and I'm going to delete these two collision shapes. I'm going to make a mesh instance. Okay, I think this helps a bit more to bring that perspective. Yeah, I think that helps a lot more. So I'm just going to go over here, and you can see that we can now slide across and figure out what plane we're on using our simple, raycast that's coming from our camera. And this is like one of the best ways to do it, if not the best way. There's other ways to do it with a raycast coming out of the camera, but I think using direct space state is a lot safer, cheaper, and quicker. So you can see I can go across any surface and I'm just vibing across the surface, which is pretty cool. And yeah, that's all I have to say for this tutorial. I hope this helps. This is the quickest turnaround time for a video ever.